Hello, Andrew here with Tate Tech, and today we'll be talking about cloud gaming. What is cloud gaming? Cloud gaming is a type of online service that is designed to process video games on remote servers and then stream them to a client device. The obvious bonus here is that much of the processing power is handled on the server side, thus reducing the required minimum specs of the client device. Let's break down how this works. In cloud gaming, services are hosted on remote servers. These servers can vary quite a bit in their approach, but their purpose is to take care of the heavy lifting. See, the graphics and other processing needed to render games are done on these remote servers. Usually, you would find a bunch of these servers packed into a single rack, or row of racks in a server farm. These servers then stream an interactive video feed to the client device where the end user, you, are able to interact with the game. While the purpose of cloud gaming is to move most of the intensive processing into the cloud, there are still some lighter processes that needed to happen on the client device. Namely, the client device will need to be able to handle button presses, mouse movements, and keystrokes, and send those back to the server so that you are able to, actually play the game. While cloud gaming reduces the need to replace powerful hardware every few years, or worry about constantly maintaining your PCs, consoles, phones, or whatever else you game on, it does come with some major downsides. A solid internet connection is needed, with low latency. While you do not necessarily need a super fast connection, many of these services will scale up or down based on your available bandwidth. You will need the connection to have very low latency. The higher the latency of your connection, the longer it will take for data to be sent to and from the servers. You may be saying, well, I can play Netflix content at 4K resolution just fine. Shouldn't I be able to take advantage of cloud gaming? Well, no, not necessarily. Video streaming content, such as that found on Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon, generally buffers. While we won't go into this in this video, this basically means that the video loads up the next section ahead of time, and continues to load in the background while you are watching. So your device always has access to the next section of the video. Cloud gaming doesn't have the luxury of being able to buffer in this fashion. Because of the nature of games, and their heavy interactivity with the player, they need to be streamed in real time, and the servers need to be able to register user inputs very quickly. Hence, cloud gaming being very latency sensitive. There are, however, some nifty ways companies are attempting to combat this problem. Most notably, Google Stadia claims it will be able to provide negative latency in their service. While this sounds incredibly stupid, and quite frankly the marketing team should have thought about this one for a few minutes before putting that into the ether, the actual concept is quite interesting. The idea here is that Stadia would go ahead and render the frames for every possible action and send it to the client device. That way, when the user presses a button, it has all of, or at least the most likely, potential frames ready to go, and simply displays the one that's needed. If this sounds familiar, it is. It essentially acts as a buffer in a similar way queuing up the next section of a Netflix show does. The unfortunate truth is that while plenty of people can enjoy cloud gaming, it is not quite ready for the rest of the world. The heavy bandwidth and infrastructure requirements make it impossible for entire countries to adopt the service. While we may not be able to stream all of our favorite games to our phones around the world, the future does look bright. It is important to remember that cloud gaming is still very new, and with the large advances in wireless infrastructure such as Wi-Fi 6 and 5G, the gap will continue to narrow. But in the meantime, our consoles and PCs aren't going anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you have any tech-related topics you'd like to learn more about, please let me know down in the comment section and keep an eye out for my future videos. Thanks, guys.